So we will implement the AWS Network Firewall. On the topology, as you can see, we will install the AWS Firewall on the public subnet. It's a separate subnet from our EC2 instances. Let's go to our VPC, and then at the bottom, you will see firewall. Create a new firewall. We'll put a name. I'll put the same description. Next, select the VPC, and then we need to select the availability zone where we're gonna install. We will select the subnet, which is security subnet. Then the type is IPv4, and then click next. We need to select the delete protection and subnet change protection, and then select next. We will create a name for our new firewall policy. I will paste the same description. It's be straight, then drop, and then publish, then select next, and then next, then create firewall. Next, let's create a stateless rule policy. So what we will do is, if there's a ping from outside, let's create a policy that will deny. From the VPC, let's go to the network firewall rule groups, create rules. Select stateless, that's ABC stateless rule policy. Capacity means how many lines. This possibility you will use on this group. To start with, you can put 100 or less, no problem. Then priority number 1, we will select what protocol, SCMP. If the source is from any, going to any, and then drop, then click next, then next, then click next again. So we'll create another rule telling that all the remaining traffic or any traffic that's not a ping should be allowed or to be forwarded to the stateful policy. Okay, let's create it. From here, I will create another rule, rule number 10. I will choose protocols all, source from any, destination is any, and then we will forward this one for the stateful rule to inspect. Add rule. So we have already 2 rules, and then click next, 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 and then create a group. Okay, let's create the stateful policy at firewall network group. Create a new group. So at this time, we will select stateful rule. I will make it standard, straight rule. Then we need to create a name, policy. We will allow HTTP capacity, let's say 100. Next. So from here, we will allow HTTP, a source from any, destination is, and then pass, and rule. Also, we will allow SSH, so SSH, source from any, destination to any, pass the rule, add TCP, any TCP. We need to add another rule, choose the protocol IP. From source from any and destination is going to 10.1 our main subnet. That's 0. That's 0 /16. Okay, then pass. Then add a rule. I'm adding this IP because the problem now, we still don't have a valid certificate. So sometimes the firewall is checking the TLS and SSL. So without this rule, for the meantime, it will not work. Save the rule and add rules and make sure you put it on the top. Okay, move up, next, and then next, next, and then create rule. So we're done for our policy rule. Now let's talk about routes. So as you can see on the current situation now, we still don't have the firewall that with the route. So currently the traffic flow will be from outside going to the AWS load balancer and back and forth. So the next thing we have to do, we will insert the firewall, and then we will create I will modify the route number 1 that already forwarded from AWS going to internet gateway. We will change it from AWS going to the network firewall, and network firewall going to the internet gateway, and any traffic from outside should pass first to the Network Firewall. Now let's first modify the existing route. From the VPC, go to the route tables, and then we have one route here. Okay, so let's open it, and then we will modify. We will tell if you want going to the internet, instead of internet gateway, we'll use gateway load balancer, and then we will choose the firewall, and then save. Next, we will create another route. The traffic from firewall should be forwarded to internet gateway. From the route table, click the route table, create a new route. Let's name it as firewall subnet. I'll copy this. Then select the VPC, create route, modify the route. Let's create an additional route from, if you want to go to internet, use the internet gateway, and then internet gateway, save changes. Next, we need to associate the subnet. So we will edit, and then we will associate the security subnet. Okay, we're telling that security subnet, if you want to go to the internet, use this route. Okay, save association. Let's create the last route that if any traffic from outside needs to go into our inside network or our web server, it should be passed to the firewall. Click route table, create route. I will put a name, traffic from outside to firewall. Okay. And then I will select create table. Then we will edit the route that if you want going to 10.1.0.0.16, go to the gateway load balancer and then select the internet firewall, save the route. We need to associate this one to the edge. Click the edge and then edit association. We will associate with the internet gateway, then save. So now we are done with our routes. Before we start testing, we need to do the last step, which is the firewall policy attachment. So you have to go to the firewall policy, click. So as you remember, we create two rules, stateless and stateful rule. So you need to add and then add and manage, and then you select the stateless, add, because without associating this, it will not work. So go to stateful, add and manage rule, stateful, and add. Another thing, before we test, we need to check the subnet that it is pointed to, the route is pointing to route number 1. So here, route table, edit route. So this one should be pointing to route number 1. Okay, so what will happen there, if the traffic from inside, it will going to the load balancer. So make sure these two subnets are modified, because if not, this one will not work. So you have to choose route number 1, then save. Now let's test. Okay, so to test it, you have to go to, first you need to get the load balancer DNS, because we're pointing to a load balancer. If any requester from outside, it should pass to the load balancer. Okay, so and then the load balancer will check the server is up or down, so he will decide if it will go to the server 1 or server 2. So copy the DNS, paste it, and you can see it is working fine. So when I refresh, it will change from server 1 to server 2. So it means our load balancer is working fine, and also our traffic is working fine. As you can see in our topology, we completed all the necessary devices to be configured and installed, and we test the packet, and we're sure that everything is working fine.